Several years ago, I was invited to a maximum security state prison. This is on the border of the United States and Mexico. And I was invited to this prison because the chaplain there wanted me to come and to equip the Christians that are in prison there on how to witness to their Muslim friends. And the reason is because a lot of these Christians are in a cell for a very long time with Muslims. And so the chaplain was like, hey, we want to equip these guys because they got a lot of time to talk to these Muslims on how to witness to them. So I get there, and word spread not only to the Christians that I'll be speaking on the topic of Islam, but it actually spread amongst a lot of the Muslims as well. So that afternoon, when I began my teaching, I had Christians in the audience and I had a ton of Muslims in the audience as well. Now, after my presentation, I had a Muslim raise his hand and ask me a question. He says, did you know that Jesus in the Bible prophesies the coming of Muhammad? And I said, where does that happen? Could you explain to me where that's the case? They said, absolutely. They said in John 14:16, Jesus says, I will send another helper who will guide you in all truth. Now, in some English translations, the word helper is changed to advocate. Doesn't matter, but the point is they said this. The Muslim said this. The Greek word for helper is parakletos. Now, in the Quran, Muhammad is referred to as a parakletos. And so you could see the similarity in the Greek word. Perhaps the Bible just got some of the text wrong in the Greek, and that really what Jesus was meaning to say was that he will send another helper, not a parakletos, but a parakletos. And so you see, the Muslims said, therefore, Jesus is predicting the coming of Muhammad. Now, this is a problem for me because I'm standing up on a stage here in front of this huge audience, and I don't know Greek. And so I'm thinking, how am I going to answer this person when I don't know Greek, I don't know Greek grammar, and I'm praying to God for a miracle? So here's what I did. I said, well, let me see the text. So I opened up my Bible, and I turned to that passage, John 14:16. And then I quickly scanned the context, the stuff before and the stuff after that particular verse. And I found that just 10 verses afterwards, in John 14:26, Jesus actually identifies the identity of the comforter, of the helper, of the advocate. He says, but I will send a helper, the Holy Spirit, who will guide you in all truth. In other words, Jesus, by identifying who this helper is, rules out the possibility that it's Muhammad. And so notice, I didn't actually have to end up knowing the Greek. I didn't have to know Greek grammar. I didn't have to know Greek vocabulary. Instead, simply by looking at the context, I was able to respond to this Muslim. And of course, he was like, oh, okay, well, that makes good sense. And again, the point here is simply this. Knowing context or reading the context is so important. And many times it can be more powerful than even knowing the Greek and Hebrew that maybe a scholar might know. So don't shortchange the importance of good hermeneutics. Context, history, genre. These are the three keys, and this is just a good example of how context can be so powerful in helping you address common challenges.